We've all heard the stories. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Why? Because Santa Claus is coming to town. A jolly old man that brings all good little girls and boys presents for Christmas. But what happens to the naughty children? We've been told Santa gives them lumps of coal. This is not balanced. Little Jane spends the entire year being kind and patient, and gets a doll to love and care for. Her brother Richard, however, has been a rotten little boy, chasing the cat, cheating in school, using foul words like cool, rad, and stick it. And for all the trouble he's given his family and neighbors, his punishment is a lump of coal. Why does anyone believe this? Tonight you're going to be shown the truth and learn about what really happens to children that like being naughty. Tonight you're going to see the Krampus train. Richard, I told you to leave Whiskers alone. She scratched me, Ma. Also, I told you to call me Dick. Capital D-I-C-K. Dick. Now don't start, Richard. Your father will be home any minute, and you don't want him catching you saying that again.
You don't want him to catch you saying that again.
It's hard for parents to discipline their child. They love their child. But a child not taught right and wrong at home will be taught it later on by officers, judges, and under very special circumstances, things that are far worse. Dinner went poorly as expected, but it was Christmas Eve, and even unruly children will go to bed on Christmas Eve. Before bedtime, little Jane wanted to hear a story. Father grabbed a book from the shelf, only to be met with a barrage of protest. Jane couldn't be told any old story tonight. It needed to be a Christmas story. Father called Richard over to sit with Jane. He did not like this idea at all. But it was Christmas Eve, and if Santa checked his list right before putting Richard's presents under the tree, well, it was better for Richard to just go with it. So he walked over, sat on the floor, and crossed his arms. Father told his children about the Christmas train, a magical train that carried the most special boys and girls to the North Pole to spend some time with Santa. Little Jane's imagination was filled with elves, cookies, and toys. Then Richard spoke up. "This is stupid. Santa's delivering presents. How could he also be the conductor of a train?" Little Jane felt foolish for believing such nonsense, and started to cry. Father gently picked up little Jane and promised her it was just as real as they were, a magic train that made wishes come true. Jane fell asleep in his arms. Before bed, Father and Mother both had a conversation with Richard. Sadly, it wasn't the first, or second, or third. It wasn't even the 10th time. Richard had a habit of calling things that made Jane happy stupid, and it was like he couldn't allow her to be happy. It was becoming a full-time job to undo the pain he was causing. What does it harm Richard for Jane to believe in a magical Christmas train? Why couldn't he just leave it alone and let her enjoy the moment? Richard stood his ground and told them both that Christmas train was stupid and obviously a lie. "It's not my fault I'm too smart to believe in dumb things." Richard's parents knew they weren't going to get through to him tonight, so they tucked him in and went to bed. Richard, however, was unable to sleep. He was acting naughty, and on Christmas Eve. But he didn't lie. Christmas train didn't make any sense. That's when Richard knew what had to be done. He would wait up for Santa, apologize to him, and explain that even though what he said was mean, it was still honest. What was that? Could it be Santa? Richard ran right up to Santa and recited his speech, making sure to emphasize how good he'd been. Much better than his sister and other children. Santa smiled.
"It sounds like you've been a very good boy this year, Dick. But you're wrong. The Christmas train is real, and reserved only for the most special boys and girls."
Richard stood there in complete disbelief. Santa called him Dick. And on top of that, he had so many questions. He wanted to know how it worked. How could Santa deliver presents with the reindeer and also run the train? How do the good children reach the train? How do they get back? Santa looked at Richard and said,
"Maybe you'd like to ride the train this year."
Before Richard could take a breath, he heard the train outside his house. Once inside the train, he took an open seat next to another boy. Then Santa went to the front of the car to make an announcement.
"We are now full and will be heading to the North Pole. But before we go, if anyone wants to, they can trade their seat for someone else. Maybe someone they've been mean to, or someone that tried a little harder than they did to be good. Does anyone want to give up their seat for someone else?" "Okay then, let's get going." Oh, ho, 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 ho.
The train started moving, and a look of relief washed over the face of the boy sitting next to Richard. "Are you okay?" "Yeah." "What happened?" "Well, the truth is, I wasn't very good this year. I thought Santa found out and was going to kick me off the train. I'm Sam." "Oh, I'm Dick." Richard started to think. His sister Jane was very good this year. She should have been picked for this train ride. Richard's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of clanking spoons. Santa was going through the car giving out desserts. While Richard was waiting for his dessert, he saw one child steal another child's dessert, and they got into a fistfight. Santa quickly ran over and broke it up, and gave each of them an extra dessert. Then he stood up straight to make an announcement.
"Okay, children, we're going to ride through a tunnel, and things can get pretty rough, so I need you all to put on your seatbelts."
All at once the children buckled up. The ride through the tunnel was rough. There was a lot of strange sounds, and the lights began to flash in the train. As the lights flashed, the truth was revealed. The person up front wasn't Santa at all. It was Krampus. All of the children panicked and tried to unbuckle their seatbelts, but were unable to. The seatbelts automatically pulled on them harder, anchoring them to their seats. All types of screaming and pleading could be heard as the train carried on.
"Well, I guess you know the truth now. The train runs while Santa's delivering toys because I run the train."
"You lied! You said it was a magic train that makes wishes come true!"
Lie? I didn't lie. Wishes are about to come true, young man. The wishes of your parents, your pets, and your classmates and friends.
"You don't scare me!"
Good.
Krampus walked to one side of the train's car and hit the emergency brake. All of the children looked out of the windows. Everywhere and all around, all that could be seen was fire and lava everywhere. The train was absolutely silent, except for the occasional sobbing.
Who should go first? Oh, I know. How about Mr. Not Scared?
No, please. Let me go. I'm sorry. I just want to go home, please.
Krampus grabbed the boy and dragged him out of the car. The other children trembled. They couldn't see what was happening, but could hear every word.
Bruce, your parents, teachers, and principal wish you would stop getting into fights. And Timothy down the street wishes you wouldn't pick on him anymore. Their wishes are granted. All right, who's next? What? No volunteers? How about Doyle?
Doyle desperately tries to undo his seatbelt, but it's all in vain. Krampus walks over to him, grabs him, and drags him out of the car. He pleads and begs for one of the other children to give them his hand, but none of them move. All at once they turn away.
Doyle, your cousins wish you wouldn't take delight in telling embarrassing stories about them to other people. Wait, what? This can't be right. You did this to your cousins?
I'm sorry, please. I won't do it again.
I know.
Then Doyle let out one more terrified shriek and went silent. Krampus re-enters the car again, this time with a little extra pep in his step. He's clearly enjoying this.
Where's Samuel? Maybe he goes by Sammy?
Sam's face turns white as a ghost, and he tries to sink down in his chair.
Did I lose him? How about this? The first one to point out Sammy boy gets a prize.
Krampus walks up and down the passenger car, his eyes glancing over the children.
Maybe I should get someone else. Nah.
Krampus grabbed a now screaming Sam. In his desperation, Sam grabbed Dick and started to pull on him. Dick's seatbelt kept him firmly in place, but he was so terrified he grabbed his arm's rest and held on for his life. Sam eventually lost his grip and was taken out of the car. Dick just sat there, wishing with all his might that he was home.
Sammy. Sammy. Why are you so mean to animals, Sammy? You don't have to like them, just leave them alone. Now your sister hides her dog from you? Why don't you like her dog, Sammy?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Sammy. You can do better than that. Tell me the truth.
She bothered me while I was watching YouTube.
Bothered? That sounds pretty bad. Was she biting you? Clawing you? Come on, Sammy, speak up. I need the details.
No, she would just try to play with me while I was watching.
Oh, Sammy. I'm so sorry your sister's dog hurt you with her friendship. Your sister wishes you weren't mean to animals. Her wishes!
No, please.
Granted.
And like the others before him, Sammy let out a long scream and wasn't heard from anymore. Krampus marched back into the car.
I'm looking for Dick. Capital D-I-C-K, Dick.
Richard tried pleading, but it didn't work. He was dragged out of the car and held over the fire.
Dick!
I'm sorry.
Don't interrupt me, Dick. It's rude. Dick! Your parents wish you would do your homework. Be nicer to Whiskers, and that you would stop using the truth as a way of excusing being unkind to people, especially your little sister. What do you think, Dick? Will they get their wishes this Christmas?
Dick was frozen, Terrified, he couldn't move.
I wish you would answer me, Dick. But I guess my wish isn't going to come true, is it? I guess I'll have to settle for making your parents' wishes come true. Bye, Dick!
Richard let out a loud scream as Krampus let him go. He watched helplessly as he got closer and closer to the fire. And somehow woke up in his bed? He heard his sister calling for him from the living room. There were so many presents under the tree. One present was different from all the others. It was the only one labeled to Dick. May everyone's wishes come true. Inside that gift box was a little train.